asexual, and I share my asexual life journey in order to help you in yours. So subscribe and hit the bell icon right now. So I'm on my phone for a very good reason, because if you've ever wanted to understand controlling behavior before that person's even got into a relationship with you or potential relationship with you, then stay tuned. How to spot red flags and understand other toxic behaviors. Got quite a bit to cover tonight, but first of all, I want to take you to my Facebook Messenger, and I want to show you this conversation I had with an Indian guy, actually, that led to him displaying controlling behaviors, just so you can understand what is going on and how to spot these. So yeah, let's swivel it around. So I had this message from this guy. So the last time this guy spoke to me was on the 10th. Actually, it's the 31st of the 10th, 2022 at 3:14. So basically it was the year 2022, right? And then all of a sudden he messaged me on Sunday at 5:56 p.m. So if we go over to here, he's put hi. I don't think you can really see him, so that's okay for his identity. So he's put hi, right? And I've said, last time I heard from you, 2022, last time I heard from you, so why message me now? So then he's written, just remembered you, after a smiley face. How are you? I put, actually, I'm still getting over my Indian ex. Otherwise, thank you, and enjoying being single. Otherwise, good, thank you, and enjoying being single. So he gave that a thumbs up, and he's like, why looking for Indian boyfriend? Smiley face, I'm here to help you, because this guy is Indian. I can make you happy. Right, so let's go back to this first. Why? Looking for Indian boyfriend, smiley face, I'm here to help you. I replied to this and said, I'm not looking anymore. I'm happy being single now. And he was in the UK. And that's when he said, I can make you happy. This guy doesn't know me. This is a huge red flag. This guy does not know me, right? He was in my inbox, but we didn't talk that much. Like, let's have a look at the conversation before. All right, so he has messaged me before. He was interested in me before. This was like, he did actually leave me a message to say that he'd split up with his girlfriend. This was a message from him, like, way back in 2022, when he'd split up with his girlfriend and he was being depressed and everything, right? Actually, before 2022, because that is 2021, that's 2020, so it must have been 2020 when he messaged me. So basically, he's barely spoken to me, and when he did, it's like, I'm too much interested, can you help me in that, So, yeah, I was talking to him about asexuality. It's a sexual orientation that is a lack of sexual attraction. That's my sexual orientation, not interested, good luck. So, yeah, this is what he put previously, that he was interested in sex talk. How can we? I'm interested, sex talk with you. This is what he wrote before. So I didn't even look at this because I completely forgot him. So he put, how are you? And I said, you sent me a friend request, but we do not know each other. It's back in 2020. I'm just about to go food shop. He's like, how can we? I'm interested. I'm put interested in what? And he put sex talk you. I put, I'm not interested in that. I'm asexual. I lack sexual attraction and hate sex. So not interested. Goodbye. And then he's like, this is before. Why? What happened? Are you single? I say asexuality is a sexual orientation that is lack of sexual attraction. That's my sexual orientation. Not interested. Good luck. And then he's like, oh, sorry if I disobey you, which is a weird thing to say. I read your information. That's why. Sorry, Sandra. And I'm too much interested. Can you help me in that? And then he left me a message about his ex. I said, you can buy my book when it's published and I don't help people for free. And then anyway, that was a thumbs up in 2020. Then he put hello. Then he said hello again, and then he said hi, and then he hasn't spoke to me. That's when he started speaking to me this Sunday, right, again. Last time I heard from you was in 2022, basically. Why did you message me now? So then I told him that I'm still getting over my Indian ex, otherwise I'm good, happy being single. And then he's like, oh, I'm here to help you. And I said, I'm not looking anymore. So he's clearly not listening to me when I'm saying I'm not looking anymore. I'm happy being single now. And he was in the UK, and he's like, I can make you happy. I mean, clearly he can't make me happy when before he's talking about sex with me. Do you know what I mean? It's ridiculous. And I said I would never be with a guy abroad. And then look at this. This is so controlling. Once you start loving me, you will not leave. That there is the biggest red flag you can ever have, pretty much. Once you start loving me, you will not leave. This is so controlling. Hi, funky funkus. Crazy. Yeah, it's very crazy. Once you start loving me, you will not leave. This is so controlling. Yeah, exactly. TH, the fuck. Like, what the fuck? Yeah. Once you start loving me, you will not leave. I would like to love you. I mean, do you know what I mean? This guy doesn't even know me, and he's saying he can make me happy. He can't make me happy when he doesn't even know me. And once you, weirdo, yeah. Once you start loving me, you will not leave. I would like to love you. Like, he was with his ex for like 4 years and it didn't work out. And I'm thinking, of course it didn't work out. Because he's like this, so controlling. It's so obvious that he's a problem and he can't even see it. You know what I mean? This is just so controlling. I bet that's what a lot of guys think. Once you're with them, they got you emotionally hooked, then you will not leave. That's not love. That is complete control. Do you know what I'm saying? It's really bad. So I blocked this guy now, as you can see, but I'm just going through it so I can show you what happened, right? And then he's like, once you start loving me, you will not leave. I would like to love you if you agree. Why would and my answer to that anyway, where he said, once you start loving me, you will not leave. I would like to love you. I put, I loved him, but I still left. And he's put, if you agree, he's completely ignoring what I'm saying. And I'm like, no. And he's like, how long you were in a relationship? And I put, I just told you I'm happy being single. Yes, but I'm not interested in being in another relationship, in another right now for this foreseeable future. I prefer being single. Because he's like, oh, he's saying like, so he's saying how long, and then he's saying you were in a relationship. So I just, yeah, so basically I told him I'm happy being single. So he's clearly not even listening to me. And I'm not interested in being in another relationship now for the foreseeable future. I prefer to be single. And he's like, again, he's going on, so that's good. Why he left you? How long being single? Like, the fact that he thinks the guy left me, do you know what I mean? Automatically. It's like, it doesn't really matter how long I've been single, does it? Because I've told him I'm not interested. I'm not interested. So he carries on. I said, officially ended it as I wasn't happy and he was not the type of guy I'm looking for in the end. Last month we broke up and I'm happy being single now. Oh my God, I'm still saying. And he's like, oh, don't worry, something good will happen. I'm like thinking something good did happen. My ex and me are no longer together. I wrote this down. I'm more successful without him. And I remember you said that a long time ago. Because he said that, oh yeah, that's right. Because he said, I said, so he said, don't worry, something good will happen. I said, I will always leave a guy who does not give me the happiness I deserve. And I'm not looking for a boyfriend anymore this year. I made it quite clear. I put good things happen the day I entered it. And then he's thinking, I was also in a relationship, but she left me, broke me. But it's like, it's so obvious why she left him. Because he's a controlling guy. It's so obvious. Guys, if you're listening to this, stop being controlling. Learn how to treat a woman with respect, the care, love, time, and attention she deserves. Not hook her emotionally and then treat her like shit. So basically, I put I'm more successful without him, and I remember you said that a long time ago. It doesn't matter if you love each other, if you're not compatible and don't make each other happy, it won't work. And he's still ignoring what I said. Why you prefer in relationships, physical attachment, or what you prefer in relationships, physical attachment or emotional attachment. So, you know what I mean? It's like, what part of I'm not interested does this guy not understand? And what part of like healthy relationship does he not understand? Pretty much everything, right? And why is he asking me this? To get me emotionally hooked to him. So what you prefer in relationships, physical attachment or emotional attachment? I put I'm asexual and hate sex but still like kissing. Then he starts talking about his ex again, going, I used to kiss her a lot. And then I said, but the most important thing is a guy's character traits, and if he is and if he is in the right place at the right time in his life to make us compatible. Right? So can you read that? But the most important thing is a guy's character traits, and if he is in the right place at the right time in his life to make us compatible. Right? And so then he carries on talking about kissing his ex. In her neck, she used to like it. Then he's saying, why are you asexual? Honestly, this guy just pissed me off at this point. Excuse my language. So I put, why are you heterosexual? I mean, heterosexuals never get asked this. So I thought, I'll ask him, why is he heterosexual? And then he starts asking me my age. How old are you? Why don't you carry a sex life? I just got so fed up with this guy. I've already told him I'm asexual in previous conversations. And I put not interested, goodbye, and he's put going, right? And then he's proceeded with a sad face after he's already proved to me he's a controlling guy, doesn't respect my asexuality. It's asking me inappropriate questions. So many red flags with this one conversation with this guy. And then he's like, oh, I don't mean I was making you comfortable. Okay, if you don't like. He was making me uncomfortable, not comfortable. I put, you are not a good guy to be asking such things. Wish you luck in your life. Because he's, when he said going, right, when he said going with a face like that, I said, yes, I don't want to be spoken to like that. And he's like, oh, I don't mean I was making you comfortable or if you don't like. I said, you're not a good guy to be asking such things. Wish you luck in your life. And then he's even said, what about marriage concept? I'm like, oh my God, not another Indian guy abroad after an effing visa. I'm not interested in marriage anymore with a big capital N, right? So, yes, I've never been interested in marrying a guy for a visa. But, I mean, just look at all these red flags, red flags, red flags. Shall we go over them again? Do you know what I mean? First of all, he hasn't spoke to me for like best part of a year. Then I said I split up with an Indian ex, and then he's like, oh, you're looking for an Indian boyfriend, like he's here to help me. He can make me happy when he doesn't even know me. And this is such a controlling thing. Once you start loving me, you will not leave. I would like to love you. That's not effing love. That is just control, if you agree. And he's like, how long are we in a relationship? And then I've told him I'm happy being single, and he's just completely ignoring it as usual. So that's good. Why he left you? He didn't leave. How long been single? I said I'm not interested. I officially ended it. And then don't worry, something good will happen. I was also in a relationship, but she left me and left me broke. I mean, I'm not surprised because he's just a control guy. What you prefer in relationships? I've told him I don't want a relationship, so he's completely ignoring me. I've told him about my asexuality in the past, and he's still like going on about kissing. Why are you asexual? How old are you? Why don't you carry a sex life? All these are completely inappropriate questions. And then he's on about marriage. A total jerk. He's behaving towards me. A total jerk, right? So I wanted to show you this conversation because I want to make it clear what a controlling guy looks like in his conversations and how he's completely ignoring me, what I'm saying. He has no respect for me. He doesn't even know me. And all he wants is to get into a relationship with me to control me just through messaging, and doesn't respect my asexuality, doesn't even try to understand it. You know? Totally inappropriate questions, complete disrespect, and a horrible guy. So he's blocked now. So yeah. And I wanted to tell you something else as well, which has got nothing to do with dating, but also something else that's not good is the homeopath that I was seeing. I've had to stop seeing her. Why? Because she lied to me. I'm like going crazy. What is it with these liars in the world? So I was taking some homeopathic remedies from her, and these were like little white tablets, right? And I had a reaction, like a bad side effects off one of the tablets. And I said to her, does there is there, rather than does there, is there sugar in one of the tablets? And she said, oh no, there's no sucrose in it. She sent me a text saying that, right? And then I found these tablets on the internet. They look like they're the tablet she's given me. They're the same name and they look the same. It says it's homeopathy, right? $3.99 for a bunch of these white tablets, right? Which is dodgy as hell anyway, right? I was spending like £60 a session with her to have these tiny tablets. $3.99 bottle that she, you know what I mean? It's just like not good. Anyway, so she said, no, there's no sucrose in them. And I found these on the internet. I said, don't know who your supplier is, but these do have sucrose in them. Right. And also, the other things, tablets, you know, I was getting side effects. So I've got one of my problems back that I haven't had for 10 years, a digestive problem that I take digestive enzymes for. And she's given me like 3 lots of tablets. And one of those lots of tablets has stopped my digestive enzymes from working properly. So my digestive system isn't working properly either anymore. And why am I telling you? It's because because it's not a dating scenario doesn't mean to say people aren't toxic. So you need to be able to see red flags, not just in romantic relationships, but in general, in professional relationships as well. This woman is a registered homeopath. She's supposed to be a professional. Yet she lied to me. She admitted in the end, she goes, oh, I don't usually make these mistakes. But the round tablets do have sucrose in them. I'm sorry. And it's a flat tablets that have the other sugars in them. But the whole point is I'm allergic to sugar. She shouldn't have been giving me anything like that in the first place. And she should be taking the ingredients. She's supposed to be a professionally qualified homeopath. And in the messages, she said to me, you can't get any side effects from them. Homeopathic medicines, you can't get any side effects from, which I think is gross negligence. So I want you to understand that there are red flags in different types of relationships, not just potential romantic relationships, potential dating scenarios. Because I've just showed you that guy, there's potential relationship dating scenario in theory, but obviously that was never going to happen. But I wanted to tell you about my homeopath because it's discussion. She lied about me. If I hadn't lied, not about me, lied to me about the fact that there was no sucrose in the tablets when there was, and I'm allergic to sugars, you know, and I had these really bad side effects. I said, this is the effects I get from taking sugar. Is there sugar in this tablet? And she's like, no, there isn't. And so that wasn't true. So she lied about that. Every time I tried to talk to her, so in the end, I've stopped seeing her because that was the final straw. Because when I tried to tell her what's wrong with me, a lot of the time, when I said, oh, I have certain foods, and after that, I get rash like on my arms, so I'm sure it's a food that I'm taking. She's like, oh, no, not necessarily. So every time I try to say, I think this may be the problem with my health, she'd immediately dismiss it, which isn't good. Like dismissal of someone's feelings about their own body or emotions or thoughts is not good. It's not good, right? And so that is a huge red flag in any relationship if someone's dismissing your feelings and just automatically saying no straight away to your opinion on what you think. That's a huge red flag, right? So it was like she was diverting me away from what I thought was wrong with me. Then she was treating me for something from 2011, which I didn't even think was a problem. As far as I'm concerned, I don't have that type of thing I took something in my body in 2011. It was an actual medicine from the doctors. And she said that can affect you now, basically. So it's 2011. She said she's trying to get rid of that out of my body. But it's like, as far as I'm concerned, it's left my body. It's 2011. It's over 10 years ago. And I didn't go to her with that problem. I went to her with other problems, which she hasn't really solved. And some of the problems she had solved, like with some spots going through my body, they just came back again. Off and on, they kept coming back. So it didn't really do me any good, and the fact she lied to me is disgusting. If I hadn't have found the link to the actual product, she would never have admitted that to me. So once the trust is broken, that's it. But, like when I'm trying to tell her something that I think's a problem and then she's diverting it and saying, oh, well, not necessarily, it's not good, because that's kind of blurring your reality as well. And saying there's no side effects, to me, that's gross negligence saying that. I don't know how anyone can say there's no side effects to homeopathy. I was taking sulfur, for example. Not everyone is not allergic to sulfur. Some people will be allergic to sulfur. Some people will be allergic to homeopathic medications, because they're still medication at the end of the day. There's still things you're putting in your body, and everyone's body's different. I did stick up to her and say that I don't agree that there aren't side effects to homeopathic medicine. And clearly I'm experiencing these effects now. Right, and I asked her what time scale she thinks it'll take for me to get better in an email. She didn't answer that. And when I first told her about the side effects, she didn't even acknowledge that. And then first of all, I told her about the side effects of one tablet, and she's like, "Oh, stop taking them then." And then when I came to book the other appointment, I told her about these other side effects, and she goes, "Oh, you can't get side effects." Because that's right. So I said, well, shall I try and take the other tablet again that's gave me side effects before? Because you said there was no sucrose in it. So maybe I can try it again. And then, which was the one that did have sucrose. In the end, they all had sucrose in them, but it must have been more potent in that one, because it basically caused me loads of problems like headaches, dizziness, like needing to go to sleep instantly. That's the way it made me feel. You know what I mean? Really tired, lethargic, headache, chest pain, all this lot. It's horrible. So, you know what I mean? So, yeah, she was basically saying, so I said, I can try this one again, because I thought, she told me there's no sucrose in it. So I said, I can try it again, because it was supposed to be for my back pain. But basically, as soon as I took it, like nearly pretty much knocked me out. I fell asleep, but it was like knocking me out. It's clearly not good, because I've got stuff in there I shouldn't be taking. So, you know what I mean? There was huge red flags with her, and I had to stop seeing her. And it's just horrible, because that is a professional person. She's a registered homeopath. She's not someone off the streets that just called herself a homeopath. She's been doing it for a number of years, yet she lied to me. And the fact that she didn't even check the ingredients is completely incompetent and highly unprofessional. But I suspect she even knew it was in there, because she said, oh, well, the flat ones have got the other sugars in. I got them mixed up. But even if she got them mixed up, it still means she knows there was some sugar in one of them. Because one of them has sucrose, the other has the rest of the sugars in. So it's just lies. It's horrible. So I want to just explain this to you, because this is red flags when someone dismisses what you're saying and does a U-turn, when someone changes the subject, when someone avoids answering your questions. Like in the second to last email to her, I'm like, or the last set of last emails, I'm like, well, when do you expect me to get better? And she didn't answer that. And she didn't at first answer me about the side effects of my of the fact that one of the medications she was giving me has affected my digestive system. It stopped the digestive enzymes that I've been taking for a digestive problem for 10 years. In place of 8 tablets from the doctor, it stopped that from working. So now I have problems when I eat again, and I can't absorb my food properly again. It's really a pain in the chest. Literally, I get chest pain. So I'm hoping that the tablets, once they're out of my system, what she's given me to take, then I'm hoping my digestive system will go back to the way it was, but she's completely screwed it up. You know what I mean? So saying there's no side effects is just gross negligence as far as I'm concerned. So I wanted to let you know, because it's important to know there are red flags, not just in romantic ways, but also in relationships with even professionals, medical professionals, basically. Holistic practitioners. It's not good. You know what I mean? So I wanted you to like know about these things. And there was actually an Indian guy earlier who he lives in my city, and I commented on his Instagram post because I've been following him for a while. I think that I live near the gym he goes to. And he private messaged me and asked me, like, where do you live? So I explained to him. And I said, I got bad back at the moment. And I said, but I've also got fibromyalgia. And I thought about going to the gym you go to. But, you know, fibromyalgia is pain, obviously. And I said, if I go to the gym, it usually causes me more pain and drains my energy. And he's like, yeah, gym and fibro don't really go together. So it's better to find a different sport. And I said, oh, I like dancing, particularly clubbing. I also like Bollywood, parties. And he said, oh, I love clubbing too. I'm going clubbing tonight. And he was asking, what are you doing this weekend? And as far as I know, he's got a girlfriend, because it says like it shows him having a date with his love, and it shows him in like abroad with this girl and stuff. So as far as I know, that's his girlfriend. He's still got his girlfriend, but he's basically like asking me what I'm doing this weekend. And was hinting about me going out clubbing with him. And I turned him down because I said, like, oh, I've already got plans, basically. So I just said to him, oh, yeah, I said that I'm partway through a course. So I'm probably going to finish that. I'm probably going to get some rest and cook some food. So, and I said, like, hopefully in the future, I'll be well enough to go clubbing. I didn't say with him, but you know what I mean? So I said, have a nice time clubbing. So in other words, I turned him down. But he is a guy that looks like he's out of a bodybuilding magazine. He's so body built up, like he just looks like he's out of a magazine. So probably lots of women would be attracted to him. Like guys who, like other guys would probably find him attractive because he's got a really strong body. But he's really sculpted. Like, and I saw him walk past me when I was with my best friend yesterday. I thought it was him, and I said to him in Instagram, I said, I think I saw you like walking past me yesterday. And he lives like I where I live. He said, yeah, he does walk past there because he goes that way to go into the city from his home, because he lives not far from me. And so that was really interesting. I said, I'm sure I've seen you before because you've got a particular sculpted body that you can't really miss. He said, thanks for the compliment. But during that conversation, when I was talking about my pain, on one of the comments, he actually put a laughing emoji. When I said that I've been in pain and the amount of pain I'm in, that's not funny. That is actually a red flag. It's a red flag he's talking to me anyway about going clubbing with me, basically, when he's got a girlfriend. And it's another red flag that he put a laughing emoji. I said, I'm just curious, why did you put a laughing emoji on that last message? Because it's not like funny having pain. It really hurts. And he's go, oh, I didn't mean to do that. Sorry. He goes, I was going to change it, but you already like sent your or I was thinking about changing it before you already sent your message, or just before you sent your message, but I didn't know how to change it. So I'm sorry about that. And I said, well, I look for having empathetic and sensitive friends because that's what I value. And he said, like, get well soon, take care. But you know what I mean? That is a red flag. So if you do come across any people in your life, guys, I'm talking about mostly in my situation, and you have a message from someone and they start sending laughing emojis to something when you're in pain, and it's like if you're pain, depressed, or experiencing negative emotions, and someone starts sending a laughing emoji on your message or your comment, then they're insensitive and unempathetic. So it's a huge red flag. The fact he said, oh, it was a mistake after I called him out on it, probably means that it wasn't a mistake. But that is a red flag. Now, what you do with that red flag is you can park it, right? Usually if people have 3 or more red flags, they should be out of your life, right? But that, if he didn't actually do that by mistake, which he probably didn't, if he didn't, it means he's not sympathetic or empathetic or sensitive. It's actually horrible. But he was being sensitive or understanding, shall I say, through the other parts of the conversation. So once you come across someone like that, you need to actually just understand it's a red flag. And then if they contact you again, see what else their behaviour shows to you. And the reason I'm talking about these red flags and stuff more now and showing you about how to spot red flags is because I am doing Matthew Hussey's Love Life Club courses, and I'm resisting the urge to get involved with guys who are clearly no good for me by actually looking at the red flags and looking at the conversations and being more emotionally sober about it rather than having rose-tinted glasses, right? Because the guy, obviously, who was on Instagram, who's Indian, lives not far from me in my city, and probably got most women's dream body because most women are really super into muscles. You know, the fact he was basically inviting me to a club, you know what I mean? Some women might have suggested that, but as far as I know, he's got a girlfriend, unless he's split up with her, but I don't think he has. But I've seen him on his Instagram with other women as well, so I don't know if he just has lots of women friends he hangs out with or what. And my point is that instead of thinking, oh, I'd really like to go clubbing, I have got a really bad back at the moment, so I don't think I should be going anyway. But the point is, you know, like, I could have actually continued the conversation further with him, but I didn't. I cut him short by saying, you know, I've made my decision of what I'm doing inside. Told him that I'm probably gonna do some more of my course, have a rest, and you know what I mean. So I basically said no to him, which is good because I'm trying to learn to say no to people and make sure I'm not around people like guys who are gonna be insensitive, uncaring, unempathetic, because I'm learning through Matthew Hussey's Love Life Club, we must try and always look for the character traits in people, not how they look. So the Indian guy, like I said on Instagram, he's like any woman who loves muscles. I'm not into muscles usually, but I've got more interest in muscles since I split up with my ex for some reason. He wasn't really muscly, but I liked his chest. But he wasn't really muscly. But now I'm thinking, oh, well, if a guy comes along that is really nice character and he does have muscles as well, I really don't really care so much anymore. But anyway, this guy like literally looks like he's come out of a magazine because he's really, really strong guy. I mean, physically, his physique is just like he's toned up for years. He's always going to the gym. He spends most of his life doing physical stuff. So I'm just trying to tell you, I basically turned down an Indian guy going to spend time with him at a club that probably a lot of women would dream about his body, if you know what I mean. But as far as I'm concerned, I believe he's got a girlfriend, and I don't want to get involved with the guy who's got a girlfriend. I know some girls are fine about their guy having other women friends, so maybe she is. I don't know the situation because I didn't bring up his girlfriend because there was no need for me to, because basically I was saying no to the guy anyway. But I just wanted you to see these red flags and you to understand that it's not just in romantic scenarios. It's when you got guys in your inbox which are not meant to be romantic because they've already got a girlfriend, and it's also in professional situations as well. You have to understand that you have to look at the red flags, look at the way someone is with you and how are they over a long period of time. But sometimes people show their true colours in messages and we choose to ignore them. But now I'm not ignoring these things. I'm actually paying very close attention to these things because I don't want to get hurt anymore. And it's important that if I do ever get into a relationship ever again, which I'm really not interested in at the moment, I'm very happy being single, thank you, much more relaxed, then I want to make sure I get a guy with really beautiful character traits. And that's so important. And it's important to embody the character traits that you look for in a person. So someone who's kind, caring, empathetic, sympathetic, loving, consistent, persistent, generous with their time. Someone who's happy to be seen on social media with you. Someone who is very effective at communicating with you. Someone who's a team player is really important. You can't have a relationship with someone who isn't a team player. And unfortunately, there's a lot of people out there that aren't team players. So yeah, bear all this in mind. I hope you've enjoyed this video tonight. I hope you found it useful, helpful, insightful in some ways. If you have, please pop a thumbs up. If you haven't seen the beginning of this video and me deciphering an actual message conversation with a guy on Facebook, then go back and watch the beginning of this now. Got any comments, queries, questions, pop them down below. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon, and don't forget to get a copy of my best-selling book, Diary Confessions of a Hyper-Romantic, because it's got 78 life lessons to ace your life, and this will help you in dating, relationships, and your life. So go and grab a copy of that, and a copy of Asexual Perspectives, which is my other best-selling book for asexuals. Go and grab a copy of these two now, and I'll see you soon on the next video or live stream. Lots of love. Bye.